Welcome to the Good Friday reading from the book Our Radiant Redeemer by Tim Chester. Only two more readings to do after this one. Holy Saturday, and of course the beginning of Easter on Easter Sunday. So the reading begins with Romans 5 verse 8. God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. On Good Friday, if it's anything good about it, certainly not for Jesus, but good for us, we remember the death of Jesus. Often when we commemorate a person's death, we actually focus on their life. We remember what they did rather than how they died. But on Good Friday, the focus is very much on the death of Jesus. It's how and why. For Jesus didn't die peacefully in his sleep, or at the end of a struggle against cancer, a form of cancer, or an illness, or even heroically in battle. He died the most deliberate, violent, cruel, humiliating death. As far as the Roman authorities were concerned, he was executed as a criminal. As far as the Jewish authorities were concerned, he was cursed by God as a blasphemer. What then is the true meaning of his death? First, the cross reveals human sin. Jesus had lived a life of love, healing the sick, providing for the poor, standing up for justice. But humanity rejected him. When we had the opportunity, we murdered our Creator, if you like. Our attitude to God is displayed on the cross of Calvary. Our inner rebellion is projected onto the screen of history for all to see. But second, the cross reveals God's love. Human beings killed Jesus, but they did so as part of a divine plan in Acts chapter 4 verses 27 and 8. Jesus didn't have his life wrenched from him. He laid it down of his own accord in John 10 verse 18. The only way God could welcome guilty sinners was through the cross. Because God is just, he must punish our crimes. The penalty must be paid. Because God is love, Jesus was punished in our place. The penalty was paid on our behalf. In love, the Father gave his Son, and in love, the Son gave himself through the enabling power of the Spirit. God's love was projected onto the screen of history for all to see. Romans 5 verse 8. This is what makes Good Friday good. Good Friday is the culmination of an eternal plan, conceived in love, activated at the incarnation, and completed through the cross and resurrection. It's a plan to rescue people from their sin and brokenness. Through the cross, we can be forgiven, justified, and reconciled with God, and therefore we can have hope. Without the cross, our future is the darkness of judgment. But if we embrace the message of the cross with its offer of forgiveness, Then our future is the light of glory. This is where the Transfiguration comes in. It reminds us of what Good Friday was for. It was for glory. The cross is the crowning glory of Jesus. Heaven itself sings that Jesus is worthy. Why? They sing in Revelation chapter 5 verse 9, because you were slain, and with your blood you purchased for God persons from every tribe and language and people and nation. The glory of Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration is a picture of the glory of Jesus forever. But the Transfiguration is also the promise of our glory if we entrust ourselves to Jesus. The future of Jesus glimpsed in the Transfiguration has become the future of his people. On the night before he died, just before he went to the Garden of Gethsemane, where we are told he was greatly distressed in Mark chapter 14 verses 33 and 34, Jesus prayed for all who would believe in him. People like us, if we're a Christian. He said in John 17 verse 22, I have given them the glory that you gave me. We experience a measure of glory now in the gospel, but Jesus went on in verse 24 of John 17, Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am, and to see my glory. The new creation will be glorious, a world without death or suffering or tears. Look at Revelation 21 verse 4, one of my favourite verses of the entire Bible. But it will not be the golden pavements or crystal seas that captivate us. In all creation, what will hold our attention more than anything else will be the person of Jesus. And in Jesus, perhaps what will hold our attention most will be the wounds of love still visible in his hands and feet. We are moving from glory to glory, from glory reflected as in a mirror to glory face to face. See 1 Corinthians 13 verse 12. And the meditation is by Donald MacLeod, taken from his book The Person of Christ, published by the IVP 1998, page 107. For Jesus, the trauma is past. He has entered into his rest. For us, it is not past. We are still struggling and suffering. To that situation, the Transfiguration still speaks, because it discloses not only the glory eternally possessed by the Lord, and not only the glory for which, as incarnate mediator, he was destined, but also the glory of his people. The Transfiguration showed not only what he would become, what we would become. And tomorrow, Holy Saturday, the verse they start with is Ephesians 5 verse 8. And we hear a bit from Gregory of Palamas. And the meditation is Matthew chapter 5, 14 to 16. So, it is just gone 7 minutes past 8. Arguably 7 minutes past the second hour, because the 9th hour is 3 p.m, roughly, the time that Christ was crucified on the cross for us all. So, on this Good Friday, may God bless you all. Amen.